What are some disadvantages of being a man? Weird looks when me and my daughters do things without my wife being with us. I had a woman ask my daughters, "Hi, sweeties, do you know this man?" while I was holding their hands and walking. F you, lady. There is always a chance a drunk guy will want to fight, usually in a bar. My wife doesn't believe me. Male friends do. She said if it is true it's not fair. We know. I swear to God I'm just looking at the stairs. Man, that's some nice carpet. Yes, the floor here is made of a floor. People like inviting you to wars. You have to freeze to death while your girlfriend lays on a floating wooden door while the cruise ship sinks. Balls. On a summer day with 80% humidity. If you are a domestic violence victim, people won't take you seriously. Domestic violence against men are taken much less seriously than domestic violence against women. Not only domestic violence, but sexual assault, and by extension statutory rape. To this day, most news articles referring to an adult woman molesting an underage boy tend not to include the words rape or even molest. It is often worded as had sex with. Being afraid to make moves, because you don't want to seem like a creep. Nobody giving a fuck about how you feel. Ever. Feel sad? Man up. Got severe anxiety? Have a strong drink and man up. There's a reason why men have significantly more incidents of untreated mental issues than women. Because we all feel like nobody wants to hear about our problems. Like we're all suffering alone and that's the way we're forced to live. There was a saying once that society cares what a man thinks and what a woman feels. Over the last 50 years, we've taken great strides to include the latter in the former. The opposite has a really long way to go. This hit home. If you're sad, deal with it on your own, and if you cry regardless of what happened, you're a giant pussy. Not to mention you can't get lonely. Making other male friends is near impossible. Etc. I could go on. It's ass. You can shake it and wipe it and clench it as much as you want, but you're still going to wind up with piss in your pants. No matter how you wiggle, or how you dance, the last drop goes in your pants. Other adults instantly assume that you're a pedophile if you interact with children at all. I have a 1.5-year-old daughter. Co-worker who is a new mother was asking a couple other co-workers, one a father, the other woman is child-free, and how we react to hearing other children cry. I noted that I'm definitely much more sensitive to and aware of it. But I also hold inside myself that society is much less likely to recognize my help as a father to another child, and much more likely to recognize it as creepy man who is too close, so I tend to ignore. Parents' society are more accepting of women as mothers without a kid around, but can't imagine a man without a kid as a father. That's so true. What is up with that mindset? My wife and I have a 17-month-old son, and we have a decent system going. We each get our own free chunk of time every now and then to emotionally decompress from the day-to-day challenges stresses brought on by parenting. She will usually use her time at the spa with her mother or to grab dinner and drinks with some friends. During those times I usually bring my son to the park to play and explore. He loves being outdoors and it keeps him content. It's a win-win in my eyes. I've done this multiple times and each time I see so many people side-eyeing me after a double take. I've actually been approached twice while at the park with my son, and both interactions were with middle-aged women who asked me who the kid is and where his mother was. During one of those times I explained to them how my wife had a rough few days and I wanted her to relax. This lady responded with, "Huh, I've never heard of a husband doing that." Deep down her response pissed me off because I could hear it in the tone of her voice that she suspected I kidnapped some kid, pretended to be his dad, and made up a story to her when confronted. On the flip side, while out in public or even at that same park with my wife and son, we've never had anything like that happen to us, and the interactions and looks totally change back to the usual stuff. A long smile at our son or us with the occasional hello. I was actually talking to an old high school classmate about this a few weeks ago when I saw him venting on Facebook about bringing his kid to a trunk or treat event without his wife and getting the same stank eye looks followed by the interrogation-style questioning disguised as harmless small talk. The expectation that we just endure any and all trauma, while continuing to provide for our families with absolutely zero support is daunting. My wife has friends, support groups and more. I have work, my family and bills to pay. I know I could go make friends, but have zero energy for it after work and being a good father husband. The fucking Pringles can is made for women's hands. Also, I can't find any gardening gloves or fucking hot pads that fit. Not being taught to feel safe crying, talking, being vulnerable. To see media etc. portraying men as Rambos, as sacked but slowly getting back up QBS, as hockey players shaking off a concussion and lost teeth and not missing a shift. So some punch walls, cause that's off the only thing that we allowed. Only so we can be, or declared as toxic assholes. To stereotype, thus not applicable to all of either category, women have the tremendous gift of being societally allowed to be in constant vulnerability, friendship, advice, support, etc. Men just go have heart attacks instead. Or act like emotionally unintelligent fuckwads. And men know it. Doesn't mean it's desirable to them. My town recently opened a male mental health awareness group. Women seen it as unfair and complained. It's now unisex. My town has no resources for males, however have plenty for women such as refugees, domestic violence support etc. But none of this is available to men, and when we do get something, it's pressured into being unisex. Now the men in attendance are uncomfortable opening up since they feel the women will judge them. Before as a group of men we understood and wouldn't judge. We also had a rule of what's said in the room stays in the room, but it's been found very few women respect that rule and have been gossiping to friends and family. If a woman slaps you in public it is automatically assumed that you are in the wrong. If the roles are reversed the outcome is the same, you are in the wrong for hitting a woman. Woman could be a She-Hulk slapping on an expiration date sticker on your face and you'll still be in the wrong at your funeral. You live, by comparison, a far more isolated and solitary life. You're expected to deal with a multitude of serious things, especially while quite young, that have incredible PTSD potential, and then are expected to never discuss it with anyone and bury it in your brain. The potential for violent interactions for innumerable reasons is quite astronomical. You're expected to protect those around you. Be chivalrous but not step on boundaries that continue to change almost daily and vary from person to person. You are 100% in charge of how good or bad any sexual encounter is.